Hello guys, you are highly welcome to another amazing tutorial on Novoty Fashion channel. On this video I'll be showing you how to achieve this straight joining on the shoulder of a kaftan. As what we all know before is making both front and the back joining on the shoulder of a kaftan to be slant. But on this new design on the kaftan dress, you can see that the front is not slanting, while the joining is not slanting and it's straight. And this makes this kaftan to look very beautiful. A lot of people are asking me how can they achieve this type of straight joining by the shoulder of their kaftan. This is very new to everyone now, and if you are able to do it, you may be among the first people that will know how to do this. So please, I urge you to watch the video to the end without skipping any part of it, so that I not miss any part of the training. So without any further delay, let's jump into the video. So here is the material that I'm using for this illustration. So this is the box frame for the front panel. So this is the front bodice. So the next thing to do is to, like, assuming the way we normally cut our front bodice. So that is the way I cut this. So let's say the chest is a 40, and the 40 divided by 4 giving me 10 inches. So you have additional 2.5 or 3 inches. So if you want to know how to cut a kaftan dress, I have a video for that on this channel. And then the seaming allowance for the down part is a 2.5, or you make it 3 inches depending on how wide you want the down part to be. And then this upper part, now you make it you add additional 0.5 for the joining of the upper part. So the front panel is just exactly the way we normally cut a kaftan dress, but what you have to do is to make it straight without slanting the front. And this is the back bodice now. So this is the back bodice. And then the one thing we know before is that the back bodice have to be longer than the front. So on that, the front, which is a back drop, the average length for that is 4 inches, which will make the back to be longer than the front. But on this, you have to add additional 2 inches to whatever you are using for the back drop. So that is 6 inches. So giving me 6 inches. So the average is 4 inches. So whatever you have, that you have to add additional 2 inches to it if you want to cut for this type of straight shoulder joining for the kaftan. So you place this on it now. So you place the front on the back like this. And then what you have to do now is to measure the shoulder, that is the back drop, which is 4 inches. If you want to make it 3 inches as well, you can make it 3 inches, and then you mark 3 inches. Then you add additional 2 inches to this back drop. So these 2 inches, additional inches we are adding now, is a constant measurement, and then you cut it out around like this. So this is the back now. So the next thing that I have to do now is to slant the shoulder like this. And then the one thing you have to do is to divide the shoulder measurement. Our shoulder measurement is 17 inches. So 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. So you mark 8.5, and then you add additional 0.5 to it for the seaming allowance, so giving me 9 inches. So you drop down a bit like this, and then you mark 9 inches as well, and then you roll it straight down. Roll it straight down like this. Now you have to measure 2.5 here. So that is for the shoulder slope. So that's the average measurement for the shoulder slope, so which is 2.5. You can make it 2 inches or 1.5 depending on the shoulder which you are working with. So now after you mark 2.5, you have to add additional 2.5 to this 2.5 inches which we mark already. And this 2.5 is a constant measurement. It's a constant measurement which you have to add to whatever you have as your shoulder slope. If it is a 2.5, you add additional 2.5 to it, and then giving is a 5, making it a 5 inches. If it is a 2 inches for the shoulder slope, you add additional 2.5 to this 2 inches which you mark before. So that is that is that on the shoulder slope. So you now take the ruler now and connect the line like this. On this now, you are not starting the slanting from this neckline, but you are starting the slanting from the center back. So that is that for this method of to cut this type of method. So you have to start the slanting from the center back. So once you roll it like this, then you cut it out. So just trim it out like this. And now you have to fold the back on the front, so making it overlap on the front with 0.5. so on this line now, so that's the joining now, which is here now. So on this 0.5, on this now, that is where the front will overlap on, and then you can see that you are getting the results already. So the process can be a little bit tedious, but if you put your mind on it, I believe you achieve the desired results. So just use iron to press it like this. And I have a very good tip that I want to give you here, so which I urge you to pay attention to on this part. So once you notch the point where this thing is now, once you notch this place now, then you open this again like this. And then this video, I'm not covering the process of how to cut the neckline, so this video is not meant for that. So I have another video where I explain in detail the formula and the easiest method on how to achieve a perfect neckline. So here now, let me give you this tip now. So you don't cut on this gaiter which we folded here, so you have to drop down a bit with 0.5. and if you cut on this gaiter, this is the result which you will derive at the end of the sewing when the person wear the clothes. So you don't cut on this gaiter, you have to drop down a bit with 0.5. and then now, after you have marked the neckline, then you connect it like this. So the purpose of this video is not for the neckline, but there's no way we can join the shoulder without cutting out the neck on this kaftan. So I want to give you the tip on how to cut the neckline as well. I have a video for that on this channel, which I urge you to go through so that you learn how to cut a perfect and a fitting neckline. So here now, you have to drop down a bit from this gaiter, so you don't start the slanting from this gaiter. And if you want to do this, you have to come down straight a bit. The curve should not be very sharp, it have to be a little bit straight before you now curve it a bit. I believe with this very little tip that I give you on this neckline, you can even achieve a very good result at the end, coupled with the video on how to cut a neckline on this channel. So once you do that, you can see that it's equal, and then there's a little depth at the back of the neck. So now you apply the shoulder measurement, which is a 8.5. Apply 8.5 and also add a 0.5 to it, which will be for the joining, that is the seaming allowance for the shoulder. So what we have here now, you have to drop down a bit, and then you mark whatever you have that. So that is 9 inches, so you mark 9 inches here. So I think there is a little shift on this material, so the first one that I measure is not equal to this one. So the purpose of this video is not also for the armhole cutting, so I have another separate video for armhole cutting on this channel. So I will leave the link to that 2 videos at the end of this training, which you can easily get your hands on. So a video on how to cut the neckline, and another video on how to cut the armhole of a senator dress to achieve a very fitting and then good armhole result without having folding on the armhole line. So you just curve it like this, and then once you do that, you cut it out like this. So you have to cut the back separate from the front, so you have to cut the front separate from the back, and then the back have to be a little bit smaller, wider than the front. so the back have to be a little bit wider than the front. So now let's proceed to the sewing machine and then see the result. So but before we do that, let me quickly cut the back piece for this kaftan dress. So this is how to, I'm using this red material so that you'll be able to see it clearly, the way the back is different from the front. So once we do the cutting, then we proceed to the sewing machine. So here it is now. You first lay the back like this. So this is the back and this is the face of the back as well. So you lay the back like this and then you place the front on it. So the same way we do the joining of a normal kaftan dress. So that is the way we are doing the joining here. So but one thing that I normally advise is that you start the joining from the neckline. So don't start the joining from the shoulder line. So this is the back now and this is the face of the material. So this is the back piece now. After I've already applied I quickly apply paper stay on this, but if you want to do this on the normal material, make sure you apply a stay, don't use a paper stay. So you start the joining from the armhole, that is from the neckline, and then you stitch it straight down like this. You turn the other side like this, placing the back piece down and place the other materials on it, place the front on it as well. So you stitch it straight down like this, and then make sure you use your hand to secure the material so that it will not shift while you are doing the joining. So that is it. You can open it like this. And another thing is that you have to iron it like this before you continue the joining, so that you will not have a squeeze on the shoulder line. So stitch it straight down like this. Make sure that the stitches is very straight and it fall on the edge of the joining. So make sure you use your hand to set this. Stitch it straight down like this. Use your hand to secure the material, and then make sure that the stitches is straight. Take your time to do this. That is it. Make sure you lay the material very well, and then the stitches have to fall on the edge of the material. So let me give it a little design here. So you can slant it like this, and then the stitches here have to be straight, and that is it. So go to the table and do the ironing, and here is the results. You can see that. You can see how nice and beautiful the design is. So please, if you derive value in this video, let me give this video a thumbs up so that a lot of people will be able to benefit, and they too will be able to derive value in this video. Till the next time that I'm bringing you another amazing tutorial like this again, I say thank you for watching, and then bye for now.